The 17 documents out of a cache of reportedly 6,000 released by the Combating Terrorism Center at West Point Military Academy reveal a striking and in places surprising picture of the relationship between the core of Al Qaeda and its leader Osama bin Laden on the one hand, and numerous franchises and affiliates on the other. Boris Volhonsky, Senior Research Fellow at the Russian Institute for Strategic Studies, has his opinion on the matter. The documents, covering a time span from 2006 to April 2011, a week before Osama was killed, disclosed the fact that was obvious to most researchers long before, that bin Laden was not in control of the numerous comrades in arms who tended to act on their own, ignoring the requests and orders coming from bin Laden, and more often than not even not bothering to answer his letters. The timing and the choice of the publication point to the real purpose behind it. President Barack Obama's presidential campaign has just entered its active phase, and the strategists in Obama's camp are likely to use the anniversary of Osama bin Laden's elimination and the new documents as a powerful tool aimed at picturing the incumbent president as a successful warrior battling international terrorism. The president, pictured in this way, appears as a national leader who not only eliminated the public enemy number one, but drastically cut the power of the whole terrorist network, turning it into an array of small-scale operational groups whirling around and being unable to inflict any serious damage to the United States of America. The method was successfully used by the previous White House occupant in 2004, when he managed to make the best out of the 9/11 attacks and comfortably secured his re-election. Now, but it is interesting to look into some details of the disclosed letters in order to see whether they reveal something more than those who published them had planned for. Let's not question the authenticity of the documents and take it for granted that the letters are authentic. Then there is a number of issues worth commenting on. Assuming that the letters, as well as the whole story of bin Laden's masterful elimination, are to become central in Obama's presidential campaign, the choice of one document seems surprising, the one outlining the main targets for terrorist attacks. Osama bin Laden writes to his associates that President Obama or the then head of U.S. forces in Afghanistan, General David Petraeus, are to be targeted, but not U.S. Vice President Joe Biden. The document argues that Mr. Biden would be unprepared for the post if the president were killed, leading the U.S. into a crisis. It may be too premature to make this far-fetching conclusion from the letter, but obviously the sympathy for the vice president expressed by bin Laden is not meant to speak in his favor in the eyes of American public opinion. Therefore, it would be a good bet that Obama will think more than twice before announcing the name of his running mate in the ongoing campaign. As for General Petraeus, who is presented in the same document as the main target along with President Obama, a lot was said last year of the possibility of his bid for 2012 elections on the GOP ticket. He refused to run in 2012, though. Yet, the option is still open for 2016. Also, what clearly goes contrary to the main line of the United States policy is the acknowledgement of the fact that there is no evidence linking bin Laden and Al Qaeda to Pakistani or Iranian intelligence. The speculations that Al Qaeda had strong links with Pakistan's ISI have been commonplace in the United States political discourse for years, and finding evidence that Iran was in some way or other tied to terrorism would have been a glorious achievement of the U.S. intelligence. But the evidence they have managed to find tells of the exact opposite. Bin Laden was clearly wary of Pakistani intelligence, and the documents depict a suspicious, antagonistic relationship between Al Qaeda and Iran. In fact, the documents only confused the whole picture of bin Laden and Al Qaeda, which the U.S. propaganda had been trying so hard to work out for more than a decade. Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda, both allegedly created by the CIA in the 1980s at the time of the Soviet military presence in Afghanistan, have been convenient myths that made it easy to explain any terrorist attack, ascribing it to them without bothering to find a real explanation. Now it turns out that from 2001 to 2006, bin Laden and the core Al Qaeda were unable to coordinate anything. The disclosure forces to at least ask a question, whether they were capable of controlling and masterminding anything back in 2001, or the whole version of the 9/11 attacks could be rewritten. He who does not make known his own history, Osama wrote sometime after October 2010, risks that some in the media and among historians will construct a history for him using whatever information they have, regardless of whether their information is accurate or not. In fact, this is what had happened to him long before he realized it, and the newly disclosed letters only reflect the need to adjust the old myth to the changing reality.